It's no secret that BrokenIdeas and I love Genshin Impact. Despite having little story progress to look forward to lately, we've been kept pacified thanks to a brand new game also released by hoyoverse, Honkai Star Rail. Regardless of whether or not these two games are connected narratively, there are still a lot of similarities between the two. While Genshin Impact is an open-world action RPG, Star Rail is a turn-based strategy. I thought it would be fun if I took a look at both games and transplanted their characters. Basically, what would it be like if the Traveler boarded the Astral Express, or if Kafka dropped the Trailblazer off on Teyvat? I'll be starting with the starter/free characters of both games, and if you guys like this sort of thing, we'll continue the series and take a look at other characters. So be sure to engage with the video and let us know if you like this content. Before we dive into specific characters' kits, we need to briefly discuss the combat systems of both games. Although both RPGs have a 7-element system, their exact elements are a bit different, meaning that we can't easily do a one-to-one substitution in every situation. Also, in Star Rail, there are 7 paths that sort of depict how the character functions in combat. You can think of these like roles or jobs from Final Fantasy games. Destruction is a balanced character. They can deal damage but also take it. Hunt is a heavy single-target damage dealer. Erudition is a multi-target damage dealer with an emphasis on follow-up attacks to keep the pressure on. Preservation is the tank with a focus on shielding allies. Harmony is the team support/buffer. Nihility is the enemy debuffer/damage over time dealer. And Abundance is the healer. Alright, that should be enough setup, so let's see how these early game characters from Teyvat would function in the gameplay style of Star Rail.
This world is full of unsolved mysteries.
Just what will we come across this time?
It only makes sense to begin with the Traveler themselves. As you know, the Traveler takes on several forms as they align with the various elements of Teyvat. I'll just go in order, starting with Anemo. The Anemo Traveler's skills hit multiple times, so I thought that'd translate into the path of erudition. Not only that, but they also have a bit of crowd control in their Genshin moveset. In Star Rail, I see the Anemo Traveler as being a character who spreads damage across multiple foes. Although their innate damage isn't that high, they make up for it by also weakening the enemy for your other teammates to secure the kill. Thus, they have a bit of a nihility streak in them with their reliance on that debuffing. The Geo Traveler is a bit more of a bruiser, but still maintains their ability to soften their foes up with debuffs. Their path will be nihility. As for their elements, well, there's no such thing as Geo or Earth in Star Rail, so the closest equivalent, I think, would be physical. I've built them similarly to an already established Star Rail character, Serval. Their emphasis on shock adds to their passive damage, helping you to shred bosses that you can't normally one-shot. The Dendro Traveler is the last character currently available in Genshin. With Fontaine just around the corner, I'll have to update this with the Hydra element, but I'll save that for a future video. Like with Geo, there's no easy one-to-one conversion here. Star Rail doesn't have a plant element. But luckily Dendro also has a strong tie to dreams and imagination. Thus, this character will be an imaginary unit. As for their path, it'd have to be Harmony, since they're primarily a support unit. We've seen a few great buffers in Star Rail, thanks to Ting Yun and Yukong, so the Dendro Traveler would be following in their footsteps.
Outrider Amber, reporting for duty. Just say the word if you ever need my help.
Moving on to the starting crew from the Land of Wind and Freedom. Amber is infamous as a terrible unit in Genshin, which is unfortunate since she's a very likable character. My kit for her in Star Rail hopefully sees her being a little more useful. Being a scout, she could easily be depicted as a hunt character, but based on the kit that I have in mind for her, I think she fits better as pure destruction. Her reliance on Baron Bunny lets her function as a less powerful version of Clara and Svarog. She wants to be attacked and punishes the foe for doing so.
Kaya, Knight of Favonius. Please allow me to join you on your journey.
Kaya loves putting his foes on ice. Being an erudition unit, he keeps the pressure on helpless foes by piling on the damage just for being frozen. His follow-up attack can be a bit awkward to execute since it does rely on you using your ultimate, but his ultimate cost will be quite low, and he has ways of generating extra energy. Pair him with another unit who freezes, like March, and you've got a match made in heaven. Or, in his case, the Abyss.
Why not keep me company for a while? There'll be plenty of time for work later.
Lisa may be as big of a sadist as Mommy Kafka is. Her kit revolves around placing a special debuff on the enemies, called Conductiveness. For each stack a foe has, they lose speed and have an increased chance of having shock inflicted on them. Once you're done playing around with your foes, you can execute them with her ultimate, Lightning Rose. Looking back on the kit I've designed, she looks like a bit of a love child between Welt and Kafka.
Go, Barbara, go! Come on, we can do it!
Good old lovable Barbara keeps your party healed up. She's not too different from Natasha, honestly. The major difference, of course, is her element. Once again, there's no water element in Star Rail, so the closest I could think of in this case was ice.
You seem tired. Would you like some tea? I'll brew you some. Do you take sugar? 1 cube or 2?
Talk about a criminally disrespected character in the lore. Everyone knows that Noelle would make a far superior knight than 90% of the current knights of Favonius. Regardless, her kit isn't too far off from another character already in Star Rail, the Fire or Preservation Trailblazer. Serving as a tank who can soak up damage and taunt foes, she indirectly keeps the rest of your party safe, while still being able to dish out some decent damage in her own right.
Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Xiangling. I'm a chef from Liyue. My favorite place is the the kitchen.
Well, I've kind of already had a few Erudition characters in this video, huh? Well, I wonder what my favorite path in the game is. Anyways, our resident chef from Liyue brings the heat by keeping her foes feeling the spice. It's a pretty simple yet effective kit that slowly melts away the competition.
Trainee Forest Ranger Kale reporting for duty. I will ensure your safe passage through this forest.
The last free character easily available to players in Genshin is Kale. Once again, we have a Dendro unit which will translate into Imaginary. Also, like the Dendro Traveler, Kale will be a Harmony unit. This is just a small taste of how Genshin characters might function if they were made in Star Rail somehow. If you want to see things the other way around, stay tuned, as I'll also be covering the early game Star Rail characters in Genshin very soon. Let me know what you guys think of this little series, and be sure to have a blessed day.